speaking of contending with the Spurs and the Western Conference, the Oklahoma City Thunder, which is safe to say won't contend with the Spurs, but they have a bright future. Talk about we were talking before we went on air about Kevin Durant, and I was saying on my show around 2 years ago, I said that by the end of 2010 he'll be one of the top 5 players in the league. Talk about how special this gentleman is.
I've had a chance to see this guy up close and personal for, the entire season, and it's not a game that he cannot take over. He has the skill set. He's at 6'10". This is a guy that can start the fast break. He can rebound, put the ball on the deck, and start the fast break. He has good basketball IQ, high basketball IQ, that he's going to make the right decision on the other end of that fast break. If he's not the guy that's triggering it, he can be the guy that's on either wing. And when you set that up, when you got Kevin Durant, you also have Jeff Green, another young player.
Yes, indeed.
You got those guys on either wing. It's a tough decision to make if you're the defense that's getting back on that fast break. So Kevin Durant, in my estimation, he's right there. And by him being so young, he's got so much opportunity, so much upside to an already rising career.
Yes, indeed. And it's funny mentioning Jeff Green and Kevin Durant. It's funny, Kevin can play the 2 to the 4. Jeff Green could play the 2 to the 4.
Exactly. They're so versatile that they can play so many different positions. And I think that poses a big problem for their opponent. You might pencil these guys in, Kevin Durant coming in at the 3, and then Jeff Green playing the power forward. But on any given night, Kevin Durant could go to the power forward. Kevin Durant could play some 2 guard. Jeff Green could play some small forward. And that gives their opponent such a nightmare when you talk about matching up with these guys, because they can both play on the inside as well as on the outside.
Absolutely. And speaking of outside players, we have a potential starting backcourt of Russell Westbrook, who was so impressive last year, 15, 5, and 5, but his shooting percentage was a liability. But talk about, do you think Russell Westbrook's shooting will improve? Has he worked on it over the offseason?
I think one of the things that Russell has worked on is his shooting, but what you can never underestimate is a player's confidence, and that's what I love about Russell Westbrook. He can get knocked down 2 or 3 games, and on that 4th game, he's going to come back and he's going to take the biggest shot of his career. He's not afraid to take big shots, even though Kevin Durant's on this team, even though Jeff Green is on this team. Kevin got hurt at a stretch during last year, and so did Jeff Green, and Russell Westbrook put this team on his back, and he carried them for about 5 to 6 games. And I know he showed us the capability, the skill set that he has. And remember, he's just a very young player. He's also a player that's now making the transition from college playing the 2 guard. Now he's playing the point guard. So there's some building and some growing that he has to do. But this is a very special player in his own right when I'm talking about Russell Westbrook.
That's right, and a very good defender as well. And he reminds me of a young Alvin Robinson.
You're absolutely right. He's got very quick hands. He's got quick feet, and he can be very aggressive on the defensive end. And I think the way the rules are set up with the NBA, where you can't really do a whole lot of hand checking, that's almost to his advantage because he can move his feet so well.
Wow, that's for sure. And James Harden, 1st-round pick, 3rd pick overall, I believe, right? 3rd pick for this year.
Yes.
Right. 3rd pick overall from Arizona State. And I loved his game since following him his senior year in high school. And talk about what are the things that he will contribute immediately to the Thunder and the things that he needs to work on as well.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the word immediately. When I was in New York for the draft, I thought there might have been 3 players that may have been NBA ready right there at the draft. And one was Blake Griffin. The second guy was James Harden. I felt this guy was NBA ready, and I was so elated when we had the opportunity to pick him. He can get his own shot. First of all, he doesn't need a screen. He can get deep penetration, and he can finish at the basket. I think defensively he may be a little bit behind, but he makes good decisions with the basketball, and he's a very physical player. And I think that's what really brought him to this team. That's what the upper management really liked about what James Harden brought to the basketball floor. Not to mention, when you talk about building your team, you have to have good character guys. And
yes.
James Harden is one of those guys that's going to be a very good character guy for this team.
Yes, indeed. And his mid-range game is, he's like a left-handed Rip Hamilton. Yeah,
I like that. I like that analogy because he's not going to just wow you from the three-point line. But I think two or three steps inside the three-point line, he'll knock that shot down. And again, it's going to be very deceptive because he can also get to the basket.
Yes, yes, indeed, and that bow tie was nice too that he had on in his draft too.
Exactly. It's funny.
Fashion
I
guy.
asked him about that also. And he said his style coach put that together for him.
A style coach. Wow.
Yeah, his style coach. Imagine that.
Wow, that's right. That's right. Very insightful for only 20 years old. Already has a style coach.
Exactly.